Did you know that about 90% of women actually prefer a specific type of penis, and it's probably not what you think? Studies in evolutionary psychology and human behavior reveal something fascinating. It's not about being the biggest or having an extreme shape. Instead, women consistently say what really matters to them is much simpler: cleanliness, health, and proportion. Think about it. A body that looks healthy and well cared for sends powerful signals of good genetics. And so, it's like meeting someone who takes care of themselves. They don't have to be a model to be attractive, right? The same goes here. So before you buy into myths or media exaggerations, consider this: what truly attracts most women isn't excess, but balance and care. Wouldn't you agree that confidence often starts with how well you respect and take care of your own body? Asterisk. So here's the truth. Most women don't actually prefer the largest penis. Surprised? You're not alone. This is one of the biggest myths out there. A fascinating study from the University of California shed some light on this. They found that women tend to prefer a penis that's around 6 to 6.5 inches long when erect, with a girth that's just slightly above average. Not massive, not tiny, just balanced. But here's where it gets even more interesting. Preferences often depend on the situation. When women think about a long-term partner, they tend to value comfort and emotional connection even more. But in short-term casual scenarios, some lean a little more toward physical novelty. So let me ask you, have you ever thought about how context shapes what we find attractive? It turns out desire isn't one size fits all. It's more about what feels right for the moment. Asterisk. Now let's dive deeper, because what women find attractive isn't just physical. There are powerful psychological factors at play here too. On one hand, biology shapes their instincts. From an evolutionary perspective, women are often drawn to traits that signal health and reproductive fitness, like symmetry and proportion. A well-cared-for body suggests good genes and reliability. But it doesn't stop there. Social conditioning also plays a big role. The messages women hear growing up from family, friends, or even media can influence how they view what's desirable. What's really fascinating is this. In surveys, many women ranked confidence, attentiveness, hygiene, and emotional connection higher than physical size. Why? Because, at the end of the day, feeling emotionally safe and connected makes intimacy more fulfilling. So here's something to think about. How much of attraction do you believe is physical, and how much is emotional? Asterisk. Here's something we don't talk about enough: how much our culture influences what we think is attractive. The truth is, media and pornography have done a lot to distort reality. They bombard us with unrealistic images and exaggerated ideas of what's normal or ideal. And after seeing those messages over and over, it's easy to start believing that bigger always means better. But when you step into the real world, it's a completely different story. In real-life relationships, most women say they value comfort, compatibility, and connection far more than extreme physical traits. Think about it. Intimacy isn't a performance, it's a shared experience. And no Hollywood movie or magazine cover can define what feels good or meaningful to you and your partner. So, here's a question for you. Are you letting culture dictate how you see yourself, or are you ready to define attraction on your own terms? Asterisk. And finally, here's the most powerful insight of all. Open, honest communication often matters more than physical traits. You see, study after study shows that women who feel heard, respected, and emotionally connected report much higher levels of sexual satisfaction no matter what their partner looks like. Why? Because intimacy isn't just about bodies coming together. It's about trust, vulnerability, and knowing you're valued. So instead of stressing over measurements, focus on learning what your partner enjoys, asking thoughtful questions, and being present. Those small moments of care and connection are what make the biggest difference. Let me leave you with this. When was the last time you really listened, not just to words, but to what your partner truly needed? That's where real intimacy begins. Asterisk. Let's talk about something you can control right now: your confidence. Over and over, research shows that women find confidence incredibly attractive, often more so than any physical trait. Confidence doesn't mean being arrogant or pretending to be perfect. It's about standing tall, taking care of yourself, and showing up fully in who you are. When you're comfortable in your own skin, that energy is contagious, and women feel it. So here's something to reflect on. Instead of comparing yourself to someone else, what if you invested that energy into becoming the best version of you? Remember, confidence starts with how you see yourself, and others will follow. Asterisk. Here's another truth that often gets overlooked: emotional intimacy fuels physical desire. When women feel understood, safe, and emotionally close to someone, their attraction naturally grows stronger. It's not just about what happens in the bedroom, it's about how you treat her when no one's watching. Simple gestures like listening without interrupting, remembering small details, or showing kindness go a long way. These moments build trust, which makes intimacy deeper and more satisfying. So ask yourself, are you focusing on her body or her heart? Because the heart is where true connection and real attraction begins. And finally, let's challenge one last myth: that being a man is all about physical dominance or size. Real masculinity isn't about meeting some unrealistic standards set by movies or magazines. It's about integrity, kindness, and the ability to make your partner feel valued and secure. Women notice when a man shows emotional maturity, when he can be strong but also gentle, confident but also compassionate. So here's my question for you. What kind of man do you want to be? The kind who chases superficial approval, or the kind who builds real, lasting connections? Asterisk, so here's what it all comes down to. Attraction. Real, meaningful attraction isn't just about what's on the outside. Yes, health, proportion, and hygiene matter. But what truly leaves a lasting impression is how you show up as a person. Confidence, emotional connection, respect. These are the qualities that women consistently say matter most, not the myths you see in movies or online. So instead of chasing perfection, start focusing on what you can actually control. Take care of your body, build your confidence, communicate openly, and nurture emotional intimacy. At the end of the day, it's not about being the biggest or the flashiest. It's about being someone who makes her feel seen, heard, and valued. And honestly, isn't that what we all want? If this video made you think differently about attraction, leave a comment below and let me know your thoughts. And don't forget to subscribe for more conversations like this, because becoming your best self starts right here.